Welcome back to Accelerate London for episode 4. This week we chat with Simon Sorockyj, head of kwickBiz, about his time with the Microsoft team. Simon got to speak with Microsoft about why they chose to partner with Quickie, how Quickie can be sold to enterprises, and how they can assist us to grow in this market. Let's cross over to the team now.
Simon, you were in London last week with the Microsoft Accelerator Program. Mate, tell us a little bit about what you learned during that week and what exciting news came out of it for you.
So I think the most important thing was for us to really focus on our core product. It's very easy to get distracted sometimes on what I suppose the secret sauce of Quickie really is, and to make sure that when we focus on that, we're looking at it from an outside in, not an inside out perspective. It's very easy for us to get excited about what we have, and obviously there's a lot of interest there, but at the end of the day, it's what the audience wants, whether that be an enterprise, whether that be the general public, and to look at it in that fashion so that we can position our product appropriately for that market. So look, I think it's good just startups have some issues sometimes focusing on their core product and getting distracted with other things, and I think now Microsoft will provide us with that guidance to make sure that we're really positioning ourselves appropriately for acceleration and commercialization to move forward as quickly as we can.
So Simon, tell us what the feedback was from Microsoft Accelerator Program itself. What did they actually think about our platform and especially your kwickBiz?
Well, Bubs, they're actually quite amazed that we've achieved what we have achieved in the first sort of 12, maybe 18 months as a stretch of operation. They love our technology, whilst there's probably a few tweaks and changes to be done on the user journey, etc. They love the tech and they can see it as a real game changer, basically in business and across in the consumer industry. So there's no doubt that there's an excitement about what we can do with Microsoft and what they can do with our product. So we all know that video is the future. Facebook is saying it. There are a number of companies, Google's looking into video technology, YouTube's always trying to update with ways to interact. But I really believe, and I think Microsoft really believes, that we've cracked the code in terms of how we can bring back human interaction to the mobile phone and the human interaction to communications.
So Simon, can you explain to us why Microsoft want to work with us so closely and help us accelerate?
Yeah, Buzz. Well, basically Microsoft's core business these days, apart from the obvious, which is Word and their software business package, is the cloud, which is their Azure marketplace. And they effectively play in that enterprise market, which is large companies, whereas Amazon plays in the smaller company land and Google sort of plays in the what they call deep tech land of AI, etc. And they see video as a huge way of basically consuming the cloud. The more cloud that's consumed, the more Microsoft makes and the more relevance they have to their companies. So when they see a piece of technology like ours, and especially in video tech, which they think has a point of difference, they want to put their foot on it and make sure that we partner with them and not with any of their competitors. And it allows them to position our product as a Microsoft offering that their partners can take up around the world. So I think that's the main reason why they want to work with us.
Simon, what did you learn specifically about customer relationships and business development on this program?
Well, Bubs, I think it's probably commonly known, but it's good to have it reinforced that at the end of the day, it's about understanding your client, listening to their needs, and actually positioning it as a solution sell to what it is that they want. Pitching your product to especially an enterprise client never works. We're obviously excited about what we have here at Quickie, but at the end of the day, it's about how it fits into what their needs are and how we can tailor it to their needs. So, to be honest, a lot of customer development and business development is about listening and then working with the client to actually fulfill their needs and develop a solution for that. So I think the biggest lesson was don't pitch, work with clients, ask them questions, and understand how to navigate their problems and understand how their enterprise works so that we can get the best bang for buck and avoid any barriers. Cheers.
Simon, how can Microsoft assist us in the future?
Look, I really think post this program, which is about understanding the enterprise and accelerating, it's really about reputation and opening doors. If we go in there as a Microsoft partner that's been, I suppose, enterprise ready and approved by Microsoft, we get across so many barriers day one. And obviously, Microsoft has a 327,000 strong direct sales force. That's not including the resellers. And they dominate the enterprise cloud market. And their ability to plug us into opportunities is probably second to none. So I think if we can do the right thing and commercialise and grow and scale our business during the next 6 months with Microsoft, they'll be prepared to open up a lot of doors for us, and I think it will propel us into a world that we couldn't possibly have hoped for without partnering with them. So I think it's definitely a post-accelerator opportunity as well as a during accelerator opportunity. Cheers.
Simon, what do we need to do at kwickBiz to become a global Microsoft partner?
A good question, Bubs. One of the things we did last week was to actually ask Microsoft Direct how we could become part of their global network, and they use a term called enterprise ready, and it's basically making sure that not only is your tech what customers want and is robust, but also there's a number of processes that we must adhere to across procurement and onboarding and operations and support. So there's a bit of work for us to do to enable us to play with the big boys, but nothing that's insurmountable. So I'm in discourse now with Warwick Hill at Microsoft, and they're going to assist us to become enterprise ready, so that we can actually put our software in what's called the Azure Marketplace, which can be resold by the Microsoft resellers and their 327 direct sellers worldwide. So it's a great opportunity, and I'm sure we'll be able to become enterprise ready.
So Simon, do you think that the Microsoft Accelerator Program is assisting us to grow and mature in this market?
Look, absolutely, Bubsy. I mean, transitioning from a startup with a great bit of technology into a company that can play with the big boys globally is obviously not something that happens overnight, and I think the experience that Microsoft has with enterprises can really, really help us grow as much quicker than we would do otherwise. Learned a lot of things about being enterprise ready last week and what we need to do to sell our technology and our products into major corporates across multiple divisions, and I think the strategic direction that they gave us last week will hold us in good stead to commercialise our product a lot quicker than we otherwise would have done, and to play with the big boys much sooner than we would have done. So great experience. I think there's no doubt that Microsoft have a knack for accelerating, and I think we're going to reap the benefits of that.
Simon, you're a Ukrainian, you know how to drink. I'm sure you've got a whole list of pubs over there in London. Tell us a little bit about them.
Thanks, Bubs. As you know, Ukrainians are most famous for drinking vodka, but I can assure you it was beer only last week, and I can tell you right now, it was definitely not low-carb beer. I don't think they've ever seen one or know what it means over there. It's all full-fat beer in London. Look, we found a couple of nice joints, actually. The good old English pubs, one called the Owl and the Pussycat, which was quite a traditional old English pub, but we took a bit of a liking to a place called the Blues Kitchen, where they played live blues music and some really good food, and that was on the walk between the office and our apartment. So spent a bit of time in the Blues Kitchen, went to a nice place in Soho too called Aqua Spirit, which was quite upmarket, which is quite different from me, but look, had a great time out at the pubs in London last week, but looking forward to getting back there soon. Cheers.